Hey everybody, welcome back to ogresspeedshop. So we're going to get into doing the floor pan and rocker on the passenger side of the GMC. Now we're doing a little bit different because, I don't want to just go through and do the same thing over again. So I'm just going to go through and speed through this whole thing. And in between the time lapse, I'm going to stop and, show you what I find and whatnot. So let's just do it that way, just something a little different. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we got that rocker panel mostly off. The only thing we haven't done is the bottom side of it, but I'll probably just cut that. You're probably asking, why didn't I cut it? Just cut it out rather than sit there, chip at it and peel at it and whatnot. Well, I'm an ogre. It's all about the layers. So if you know that reference, put it down in the comments. But anyways, that's where we're at right now. We got that down. Will just lop that off since this whole piece here is going to be replaced as well. So we got to do some more damage repair up here on this section. But at least this section is good on this one. So the back side was bad on that, the driver's side. But the front section is bad on the passenger side. So, and we got to do some kick panel repair as well. So we're going to cut this the same way we did that one over there to replace that bottom half of that kick panel and bring it out here like we did on that side. So it's going to be basically the same thing as we did over there. Just mirror imaged. So that's where we're at. Got the rocker pretty much off. Well, that's the reason why we're replacing it. There's a big hole in there and all that rust. And Dick, of course, down here. Making things difficult to do around here because he's always in the way. Okay, from learning from the other side there, this corner right here is kind of a pain in the butt. And since it's not that bad, I'm going to leave it from that point. If you be quiet, from this point over, so that curve, that little arch right there stays. And there's a hole right there in that corner right there. Right there. And so I'm gonna, I just have to patch it out a little bit, just a little tiny corner right there. I could probably just weld that up. But I'll run it, this piece, we know that we're using the whole floor pan in the front, so we can cut that off right there to help size it up over here. And we can bring that section right there, that little cut off, right to that corner right there. And then just leave this here and just cut it down and replace it from here down. So that's kind of the plan right now. I might change it up a little bit just to bring it to replace some of the metal underneath here too. But it's too much of a pain in the butt to get behind this to try to weld or anything. And the other side, I was able to cut this off because I needed to repair that piece. This piece doesn't need repaired. So I'm not gonna cut it off. So I'm just gonna go around it and replace the metal around it. And that'll be good enough for me to drive it for, however long I live, and probably long enough for my son to drive it for a while. So that's what we're gonna do. That's the plan. All right, so this is where we're at on this piece. I went ahead and made that corner. I rolled the edge over like we did on that side. And Dick, you're being awfully loud. So now we got this piece to replace here. And it goes all the way across. And of course, we're gonna make another piece for this here, just like we did on that side. So we got some area here that needs to be fixed. And so this side's definitely rusted out a little bit more in different areas, but overall, it's about the same as far as the amount of work to go. So I think the next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and pull start cutting the pan out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we got most of the floor cut out, at least enough to start sizing it up. This area over here is a pain in the butt because it's all rusted out and it wouldn't come out. But the pan actually goes down in between these two braces. And as you can see, we got to make some repair pieces on this brace here for the actual cab portion. So that's going to be fun. Kind of like what we did back here, just on the front this time. So yeah, what's really surprising is I didn't clean that up at all. Look how nice that metal is underneath the driver or the passenger side. Well, that's the cab mount right there. So it's pretty impressive that that's that clean. There's no rust on that portion of it at all. Pretty cool. But now it's time we can start putting the pan in and getting it cut to size. All right, so we got the pan all fitted up now. So I got the tech screwed in a couple places just to hold it in. I had to do some massaging on that area right there in order for this piece to line up with it properly. Just these corners weren't quite sharp enough. You can see how it's kind of I don't know, it's hard to see on video, but it's a little too big of a radius. And with this in here, this really have to do with one hand. I don't know where my puppy went. She went somewhere. So, gotta go up in there like so, and then we can line it up over on this side. So, we got the floor pan ready to trim down. I'm still gotta make that piece. And so basically just gotta cut the area, excuse me, I just ate dinner. Basically just cut the area around where the, man, I can't stop burping. Where the pan's gotta go so we can water in. You can see where it comes out right here. And that's supposed to be flat to go against that barrier, or that seam. And that goes down just like that. This actually, I bent it up on the other side to become another flat, so I don't know what we'll do there. But yeah, that's where we're at. Got the pan ready to, we got the pan in and kind of mostly ready to trim out where we gotta put it, so. So I think I'm gonna simplify things a little bit here. Instead of, if you look here, see how this goes up onto the tranny tunnel and into the tunnel here and up there? I'm just gonna not install that. The metal's good in that square there, so I think I'm gonna cut it to fit that, the new pan, and make it easier than trying to get down in here and weld those seams in there and not. And we already knew we had a problem over there with the gap. This solves that problem, you know, because especially on a curve like that. I cut out the bad area over here that the pan still covers, so I can get to that part, but I have to make a piece to repair all this, because that pan doesn't cover that. I gotta do this whole section anyways, because how pitted and nasty it is. And probably go up into here like I did on the other side as well. I'm not crazy about how pitted this side is. This side's worse than that side was. So I think that side's fine, but I think I might go in here and repair some of the metal here as well. But this section here, from basically here all the way to the front, and this area here all needs to be replaced. So that's an easier piece to do. Most of it's straight. I can put a bend in it right here to bring it up over if need be. So that's what we're gonna do. So it's time to cut this floor pan to size. I'm gonna do it from basically underneath. Just cut it where it's at right now to match the original floor. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so just like that, we got the pan fitted. Got some nice weld lines to be able to weld in there nicely. And yeah, we're good. So now I just gotta clean up the metal, we'll pull everything off, clean up all the areas where it's gonna go, figure out what I'm gonna do down here. I know a lot of this has to be replaced, so plus gotta put that piece in as well. And from there we'll replace this metal here. But we're definitely ready to put that pan in for good. Just gotta clean up all the metal to weld to. All right, so we got our back piece flanged now using our cool Chief flange and punch tool from Harbor Freight. Worked really good. This is pretty much 18 gauge steel, so it doesn't have any problem doing it. So now it fits up in here, and we got a nice little flange to weld with. So that makes it kind of nice. The rest we'll have to kind of massage a little bit because, like, you see that the arch right there is a little off from each other, but other than that, we're good to go to get this piece in. So I gotta make this piece here, obviously. I'll do that after I get this into place with the floor as well. And then I'll go back and do this piece right here because it's a lot easier with you know, everything already in before I worry about making it. And that gap right there, I'll make a piece to fill that as well. But this whole section needs to be replaced right here, so. And sorry for my voice, but I'm still getting over that sickness I had last week. But now I'm just losing my voice, which is, you know, I'm sure people are happy about, like my wife and the dogs, because I can't yell. But anyways, let's get this thing pulled out, areas cleaned up to weld to, and get it ready to burn. All right, we got everything cleaned up and ready to weld in. Got some rust reformer sprayed down inside the frames. This I can get to even after it's been welded on, but got that covered and down inside there where I won't be able to get to. So yeah, she'll be ready to go as soon as it's lunchtime. So I'm gonna go feed the dogs and eat lunch myself. So that's where we're at. I'm about ready to weld that thing in. All right, we got her all clamped in and ready to weld. Like I said, this piece ain't gonna get welded here, but I'm gonna weld it on this end. Get this all cleaned up over here. I think it probably have to bend that in a little bit, but other than that, and Dick's back out here now because I kind of like to work in the morning without him, so I'm not tripping over him. He's not under my feet the whole time, so that's why you don't usually see him till the afternoon, even though you don't really know what time it is when I'm working out here. But just figured I'd let you know that he's only coming out till after lunch, just because I need some time away from him sometime because he's a butthead. Likes to get under my feet. But anyways, let's get this thing burned in. All right, we got it all tacked in now. I did a lot of the areas underneath, as you saw in the video, quickly. But I still got a couple areas that I need to press down in. And especially in this area right here, it's not quite on the frame. So I need to put a tack screw in there and a self-tapper and screw it down so it holds it in place. Everything else is tacked good. So I just gotta go through and weld everything. That's kind of the boring part. So, but yeah, we got everything. We're gonna have to do the brace here still and the kick panel, but overall we're pretty good. Let's get the rocker and see what it looks like. And there you have it with the rocker in there too. Definitely gonna look a lot better than it did. All those holes that are in the old one. So yeah, I'm definitely happy about that. I don't know if you noticed in the video, it was pretty quick. I tried to slow it down. This jack stand right here decided it didn't want to be in the chat anymore, and it fell off. So it tipped down. So that could have been bad, but it didn't. It still was up back up underneath here, so it could have caught it too, but still, that could have been bad. It could have fallen on me. Yeah, that's the joys of working on stuff like this. All right, so the pan is fully burned in now. Still gonna make the pieces here, make that bracket. I cut that off because it's so rusted out. But I'll be able to use like this section here and this part here. I'll just make most of it. Shouldn't be too hard. I just have to section it like I did that other piece on the other side. So it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, this is all burned in now. So now I just gotta start doing the patchwork. so I got the first batch done. I got to do some more around this area right here, but the hard part, getting that curve in there, is done. So now I can just do the straight pieces. These areas up here, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but definitely from here over is going to be replaced. Kind of want to get rid of that middle area. Definitely the corner right here. I don't know. There's a lot of pitting right here that I really don't like. It's worse over here than it was over there. So there's some of this I'm definitely going to replace. I'll do this just like I did on that side. But definitely this piece, and probably a section from like here over to replace all that too. Just because I don't like it being that pitted. The rest of it I can live with. All right, so we got that panel made now and ready to burn in. I didn't really show, it's just a square and a couple bends in it. And I used the this 1x2 to get that radius for the top one, and then that pipe right there for the other radius. So it wasn't that hard to do, just a real quick bend and it was done. So now it's ready to go be burned in and be done. These are the brackets for the seats. So yeah, it's a lot better than a pitted metal. I don't know if I'm gonna do any more or not. Maybe right there, because that's actually, is that a hole? No, maybe not. Just something poked me in the finger. So, but anyways, so that's the major damage over here, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit more, and like that edge right there, I might try to fix, and maybe the top of the seat bracket here. But that's it. Now I got that piece done, and just got to burn it in now. Then I gotta do some fill work right in here and make a little piece right there in that corner because it's still kind of corroded right there. But other than that, that piece is done. I don't think I'm gonna do any more. Maybe this piece up here, I don't know yet. Nobody's gonna see it. It's gonna be covered up, and I'm gonna put insulation stuff on it too. So I don't know, I'll see. I don't know yet, we'll decide later. So one of the next things I gotta do is make this piece now. But I need some 16 gauge steel because that's a little thicker than what the sheet metal is. This is 16 gauge compared to 18 on the rest of the stuff. So I go to town to Atwood's and grab a sheet. And there we have it, all welded in and ground down now. Some places I could grind it good, other places I couldn't, but it's a floor. Gonna be covered with sound deadening material anyways, like Dynamat or something, and then carpet or something. So you're not gonna see it, but there's no holes in it and there's no rust other than what I need to clean up in the middle there. So I'm happy with it. So the last thing we need to do on this side is make this piece, but I gotta get the metal from Atwood's tomorrow, and hopefully I can get this knocked out and done before the weekend. All right, so it's time to take this 16 gauge steel, and my voice is still messed up, sorry about that, and turn it into that piece right there. So let's get started. All right, so we got that part made now. We just gotta fit it up. I cut this side off and bolted it back to where it goes. And I just gotta figure out exactly where I need to fill, because that's gonna go right there-ish, sort of. And so I just gotta attach these two pieces basically. And I still need to drill the holes for the bolts and weld nuts to that. But yeah, it's pretty much good. Have to do some massaging on it to make it fit, but overall it came out pretty good. It's solid. I ain't too worried about it. All right, so we got that piece all made and done. We just gotta weld it back onto the truck, onto the cab. So we're just gonna weld right around this area here. Have to fill a little bit because there's a couple gaps that are kind of bigger than they should be, but that's all right. Ain't a big deal. Man, my voice is just all kinds of messed up these days. But yep, so we just gotta weld that on there now. All right, we got that piece welded in, ground down, looking decent enough. At least decent enough to do this with it. Cover up most of it, so it doesn't really matter. So, and the rest of it will be covered by the door and the fender, and you won't see hardly any of this, which is good. And I'll paint it and probably do a little more cleanup on it, try to get rid of some of these lines that are showing. But other than that, it's not really a matter. It doesn't really matter. It's sealed, and you know, you just can see kind of where the welds were at. In fact, that could be ground down a little bit more. It's got a little lump there, but yeah, I'm happy with it. And it obviously bolts in because it's still attached. So we're good to go. All right, so it's pretty much time to put the rocker in now. One thing I noticed, you notice the gap here. So this lined up in the back where it's supposed to be, and the bottom where it's supposed to be. Problem is there's a gap there. And I took a measurement on that side because that side fit up really nice, and it was 37.5. Well, it's 37.5 from this point to the top of this right there. So that means the new rocker is actually a little bit off. So it's not a big deal. I'll just do a little pie cut right here to bring it in to make it line up. Or I might just have to do something right here just to, so it gives it some relief to be able to hammer it into place. But so I just cut a little sliver out of here and weld it back together. Same with the corner back here probably. That might just hammer in the back there. But yeah, so to get this just to come down and meet with the frame here, where this is where it's supposed to be, according to that side. So just gotta adjust the rocker panel a little bit. All right, so that's how we took all that old rusty stuff out of there and made it look like this. And you had to make some parts. So good on that. Rocker's in. All I gotta do is the patch panel over here for the kick panel. But if you want to see how that's done, I'll link the video from the last one where I did it step by step basically, and you can watch that one. So that's all I gotta do left on this one is make that patch panel for the kick panel, and we're good. So we can start putting it back together. And I think I'll probably clean up the underside of it too and get all that old undercoating off and maybe put something new under there, make it look a little better. There's a lot of greasy grime underneath there too from, you know, transmission sling and stuff. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Right, so that's gonna do it for the floor cleanup, floor repair on the 1970 GMC. So we got all the new flooring in, the new rockers on. Everything's good now. So just gotta do that one panel for the kick panel. But like I said, if you want to watch that, the link's down in the bottom or in the description. So next step, not sure. Probably gonna clean up the bottom. Probably maybe put it back on the. We got the mounts to put the cab back on the frame, so we can do that and start putting it back together. And maybe one of these videos will start digging into the motor. Still need to get a crankshaft, cam, and lifters and stuff to make that work and clean the block up, obviously. But other than that, yeah. So if that's it, that's pretty much it. So if you like this video, leave a like down there, leave me a comment, let me know what I can do better, and subscribe while you're at it. Appreciate y'all being here. So until next time, I'll see y'all later.